President Joseph Boakai Sr. officially took office on January 22nd, 2024. Since then, he has embarked on a mission fueled by a vision for a brighter future for Liberia.
Without reaching out. Today, you can leave from here, go to Lofa in 7 hours, which hasn't been the case for years. You can go to the southeast, and we want to see more and more of that happen because we have a lot of wealth that has been stolen from our country simply because we don't have
President Joseph Boakai Sr. officially took office on January 22nd, 2024. Since then, he has embarked on a mission fueled by a vision for a brighter future for Liberia. His arrest agenda for inclusive development highlights agriculture, roads, rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism.
You can't develop a country without roads. There's no way you can expose the opportunities you have without road, without reaching out. Today, you can leave from here, go to Lofa in 7 hours, which hasn't been the case for years. You can go to the southeast, and we want to see more and more of that happen because we have a lot of wealth that has been stolen from our country simply because we don't have access to the inner part of the country. People are going there in our bushes, taking our gold and diamond. We open up the country, we can arrest those situations and make it work for our people.
The President's leadership and vision for fostering collaboration across the three branches of government has been commendable. Through recent meetings, the branches are working as a unified force while respecting their distinct mandates.
One of the other things the President has tried to do has been to reach out and reunite, reconcile the country. And so we started with the three branches of government, the judiciary, the legislature, and the executive, coming together to just over dinner to discuss issues that affect coordination, because don't forget, these are three equal and coordinated branches of government. And without that coordinate element, a coordination element, there could be discord. And so we started with that.
The legislature's collaboration with the executive is critical to achieving real results for the country. As part of this effort, there is a shared commitment to working together with partners in the executive branch to ensure that transparency, accountability, and oversight are prioritized.
In the Senate, our crucial and most important role is the oversight responsibility, and that has been my focus. To be able to execute that role, you have to hold the executive accountable and ensure that there's transparency and accountability. You cannot do that as an institution if your institution is not transparent and we are not accountable. So our first initial reform process, because we have a whole reform process that is ongoing, was to put the Senate to the level where we'll be seen as an integrity institution, and to hold ourselves accountable and show some level of transparency. And that will give us the leverage to do that with the institutions that will have oversight on.
By aligning resources to support the arrest agenda, the House of Representatives are focusing on key pillars such as modern infrastructure, good governance, the rule of law, and revitalizing the economy.
For the executive aspect, we've already planned to legislate most of those amendments that will be coming to assist in making the arrest agenda a reality. So we're already working on that. We've seen some legislation that we're going to pass upon our return to update and bring the arrest agenda back on par.
The role of the judiciary is fundamental in upholding the rule of law and ensuring justice for all through the interpretation of laws. They can better address national challenges, uphold constitutional rights, and promote the fair and efficient delivery of justice.
The executive branch of government, the history will show and prove that it is only this branch of government that continues to stand up for the rule of law in this country, in their support for the judicial branch of government, in what you see here today.
Liberia has made significant strides in strengthening its foreign relations and regional and international partnerships. Efforts to restore the country's image on the global stage have been successful. Liberia secured $210 million through the International Monetary Fund's Extended Credit Facility Program, along with $398.2 million in off-budget assistance.
Well, something we've been able to do in very short time is to give credibility to our voice. And we are now consulted. We are consulted by others as it relates to the Monterey Union and as it relates to ECOWAS. We have had the benefit of engaging very deeply at the level of the EU, with the EU Political and Security Council, all 27 member states of the EU, engaging with them very deeply. I was fortunate to be able to be in that conversation with them where they sought Liberia's views and Liberia's thoughts, and were very interested in how the Monterey River Union plays a role. So that was very important in terms of how we position Liberia, but also just strengthening relationships on the continent and relationships across from the continent as well. We were able to launch our bid for the UN Security Council, the non-permanent seat, one of the 2 seats of Africa. We launched that bid in 2024, and we've been able to now start to campaign very, very strongly.
Back at home, good governance forms the spine of President Boakai's arrest agenda, particularly as it relates to the ministers who lead their ministries and agencies.
Okay, so the performance contract that each member in government, or each minister, or each head of agency sign with the president clearly specify the targets that they're going to achieve within this quarter, which was November to January. And there were just 2 targets. Like I said, the service delivery charter, as well as building the capacity of the entity to ensure that, they can achieve or develop the service delivery charter. Come next quarter, now that the National Development Plan has been developed, each agency will next perform arrest agenda for inclusive development, because we're all part of the design and formulation of the agenda.
The Boakai administration's civil service reform initiatives successfully regularized employee status and reduced the reliance on independent consultants, resulting in savings of $4.7 million. This reform led to a notable increase in female representation, raising the percentage of women in ministerial positions to 39%, enhancing gender diversity and inclusion in leadership roles.
We realized that up to the 9,000 people who are currently in the employ of the civil service don't even have a high school diploma. They don't have it. We also realized that more than 6,000 people have only high school documents, nothing more. That is concerning. And so this system we've put in place is going to streamline the recruitment process to make sure that only professionals are brought into the civil service. So if you're a high school graduate, you're not going to be thinking about coming to the civil service anymore because you're not going to pass the test, no matter any position you want to take the test for, because it's for people with the experience, the knowledge, the education. Yes, you will have to first go to a tertiary institution to be able to gain knowledge, to gain the requisite skills to come to the civil service. What's going to be happening as a result of that? The civil service is only going to be accommodating professionals, people with the requisite background, the professional and cultural fits to serve in critical roles in the civil service. That's a major reform.
These efforts laid the foundation for the implementation of the Arrest Agenda for Inclusive Development, which is to be decentralized throughout Liberia's 15 counties.
We have succeeded in doing a number of things across the country, in the 15 counties for that matter. We have county service centers established to serve our people, where social services have been provided so that our people don't leave the interior, pay their way to Monrovia just to get simple things. We've been heavily supported by our bilateral and multilateral development partners in the process. So the county service centers have been established. The county councils that make economic decisions for our people, development decisions for our people have been established. They've been trained, and they are very fully in swing movement.
At the heart of the president's Arrest Agenda is agriculture. For him, agriculture is more than a source of food. It's an engine of economic growth, a promoter of food security, and a means to uplift families out of poverty.
At the ministry, we have this project we call the Emergency Rice Production Offensive, the Apple project. For the first time, as that's what the farmers tell me, government last year gave cash to farmers to go and produce. So we embark on supporting farmers to do 1 hectare. So if you had a lowland of 1 hectare, the government gave you a subsidy of $1,000. So we were providing that for that amount to farmers who were into rice production. We were able to sign a contract individually with farmers to produce 1,597 hectares. So each of those farmers who were contracted or who signed an agreement with us received the first 50% payment to do land preparation, and then 30% payment when you're done the land preparation. We give you that for you to carry on transplanting and other things. Then after harvest, we paid about 20%. And that went well with some of the farmers. Some of the farmers did pretty well, and some of them now are harvesting. In fact, they are part of our 4,070 story that we are telling here.
This government maintained 783 kilometers of major roads, ensuring key routes like Buroville to Popolu and Zweju to Kanwekian remain passable. The Roberts International Airport Road project was expanded from 8 to 20 kilometers, and 85%